Today I'm going to talk about my online income, about what's working for me at the moment and what I'm going to be doing in 2023 to hopefully increase my online revenue. To begin with, I'm going to talk about YouTube, about where I started and where I'm at now, and I'm also going to talk about things associated with YouTube, so things like Amazon associate links, things like merch and all that sort of goes with that, if you like. Later on I'll talk a little bit about my online stores, but I won't be really talking about anything offline, so this is all about what we're doing online over the next few months. It's over 7 years now since I started my YouTube channel, and I thought some of this information might be helpful to those of you that are just starting YouTube and that want to perhaps grow your own channel. When I started, I looked at lots of videos, probably like this one, and lots that talked about passive income. I don't particularly like the term passive income because it gives the impression that you don't have to work, and that's where I want to start by saying you do have to work, you do have to put a lot of time and effort in. The passive bit of that comes in months and years later when those videos are still getting views. So videos that I did 7 years ago are making me revenue now, and that you can kind of say it's passive, but I did put that work in. And if you look at how many videos I've done, the fact that they take a few hours to do, you've got the video in itself, you've got the editing, you've got the uploading, and then you've got to promote them on social media, etc. So there's quite a bit of time involved in every single video that you do. So we can't really call it passive. I don't like the word passive particularly. And you hear it a lot on YouTube, people talking about how easy it is, and it's not easy, it involves hard work. So if you're not prepared to put the hours in and the time in, it's probably not for you. The reason I wanted to talk about YouTube first and go a little bit into my own YouTube channel was because of how it's kind of evolved over time. When I first began, I did very regular videos. I did I can't remember now, Monday and Wednesday or something like that. And then I increased it to 3 every week, and I was very consistent. I stuck to that, and I made sure that I put those videos out on a regular basis. After about 4 or 5 years, that did become quite difficult. We have other commitments, we have family commitments, I have other work to do and other interests. So I did sort of slowly, gradually stop doing those regular ones and just do them now when I feel like it, when I've got time and when I've got something that I want to make a video on so it's more interesting to you. So over the past 2 years particularly, and during lockdown, I was working on a project on a book, I was writing a book, so I really put YouTube and everything else to one side, and then other things happened, my daughter got married, etc. So I was very busy outside of YouTube, and I let YouTube lie, if you like, if that's a way of putting it. And I noticed it made no difference to my income from YouTube. In fact, in the last couple of months, I know we're in the pre-Christmas period where the advertising goes up. It's the most money I've ever made on YouTube month on month in the last couple of months. So it's continued to go up over all those years, despite the fact that I've not really been putting too many more videos up. So the videos I just mentioned before, the ones I did 7 years ago, are still making income every day. They're still being watched every day. So that's where the passive part comes in. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. So, that's great. It's a great additional income to have, knowing that you can take a month off work, you can take 2 months off work, and that money is still coming in. Because my content is what a lot of people would refer to as evergreen. So if you're teaching how to draw and paint, it's going to be pretty much a similar lesson now as it will be in 10 years' time or as it was 10 years ago. I mean, think about all the people learning to paint from Bob Ross and how many years ago those videos were recorded. So it really depends on what you're talking about in your videos and whether they're going to be evergreen or not. But with my particular videos, teaching somebody to draw is evergreen, so that is why I've got that continual income even though I'm not always uploading videos. So that might be something to know if you're in a similar position, if you're teaching art or something similar. Those of you with YouTube channels that are already monetized will be familiar with the term CPM, which is cost per minute. So that's how much as a YouTuber you get paid per minute, and that varies a lot depending on the adverts that are put in front of your videos. If your videos are appealing to people who live in countries where the economy is doing better and to people who've got more disposable income, then that CPM can be considerably higher than somewhere where they've not got a very good disposable income, or if you're appealing to children or young people, etc. So that's about the third time I've said etc, I think. In my case, because I'm teaching art, I tend to get a lot of older people, retired people, who've actually got a little bit of disposable income. And so my CPM is quite high. It can be between $6 and $10, even more sometimes. So that again is something for you to consider. Who are you aiming your videos at? And are they going to put adverts in front of those videos that are going to be higher value to you? For all those reasons, I will be putting plenty of effort into YouTube over the coming months and into 2023, because the work that I'm going to be doing now is going to be benefiting me in 10, 20 years time, all being well, providing nothing changes with Google and YouTube and the way that they pay you for doing your YouTube videos. So it really is worth it, especially if you're already monetized. It's worth putting that effort in so that you can see that revenue down the line. You know, like I say, you might want a month off and you've got that still coming in, so that's great. So I'm going to move on a little bit now, and I'm going to talk about Amazon merch. This is quite an interesting one for me at the moment, because all of a sudden my Amazon merch sales have gone and rocketed. I've had this again for a few years. I've not been that committed to it because I've not seen that much, you know, revenue from it. I just keep getting little bits here and there. You put lots of t-shirts on, lots of designs on, and only one or two or three really sort of take off and make any money. So out of all the ones that are on there, there's about half a dozen that, you know, regularly make me money. But over the last couple of months, that has changed significantly. So for the last month, the month of November, my Amazon merch for the first time exceeded the amount of money I was taking on YouTube. So that was really good, and I'm hoping I can keep that up. I know at the moment we're pre-Christmas and that will drop off after Christmas, but I do intend to put a lot more effort into that because I can see that that's working. Again, this is not really passive because you need to put a lot of time and effort into making those designs that you're going to be putting on merch. It becomes passive down the line, so I've got one t-shirt maybe that I did 4 years ago that's still making me money now. So it does become passive over time, but you've got to put the effort in to begin with. I'm on tier 500 and have been for a long time because, like I say, I've not really put the effort in. I've probably got about 110 designs on there. If I can fill that 500 up, I'm going to make an effort to do that, because over winter it's actually quite a nice job. When it's cold, it's really, really cold today. It's cold in here. You can still see the frost on the windows actually. But you know, you can sit in front of the fire with your laptop on your knee and do the designs. I use Canva and upload them whilst you've got the TV on or the radio, whatever you're doing. It's quite a nice little job just to do that. So I'm going to carry on with that. I'm going to fill up that 500 if I can. And I'm going to make better notes and better record keeping about which designs are working and which aren't. And I've actually downloaded the extension Pretty Merch to help me with that. Whilst talking about merch, you may have noticed that down below I've got some of my merch on YouTube here. Because I'd sort of ignored YouTube for a while and not paid much attention to it, I didn't realise I had that facility until just recently. So I spent a day sorting that out, and I've got some you know, designs there now. So I probably should go and look at my Amazon merch and see what's selling the best there, and perhaps put some of those onto there. So I use Spreadshirt and I use Canva to design them again, and a really, really easy process. Spreadshirt was very easy to do, easy to set up, so I will continue and put some more designs on there. Now, I did decide that if I'm selling them, I want to make sure that they're nice quality. I don't like to sell anything that I don't believe in myself. So I did buy this sweatshirt to see what they were like, and I have to say it's really warm. So if you want something warm, I can definitely recommend the sweatshirts. And they've got a nice big pocket you can put your hands in, and it's kind of fleecy on the inside. So on a day like today, I really appreciate this shirt. So jumper, should I say. So yeah, so that's that. And so whilst we're on that topic, I'll talk a little bit about Redbubble. I really haven't done much with Redbubble at all. and I don't think I'll be putting any effort into Redbubble over the next few months. It just really has never got going for me. I sell odd little bits here and there, and I've got some designs on there that sell really well on Amazon that just don't sell any on there. So I'm not putting the time and effort into Redbubble that maybe I should. I don't know, maybe it works for you. I just don't find it works for me. Perhaps the overall the things are quite expensive. I don't know what it is about Redbubble, but it doesn't really work for me. Another thing that I won't be putting too much effort into is Amazon associate links. I do have them down below in my descriptions. I've always got the two shops in there. I put the .com and the .co.uk shops down there because that's where most of my views come from, and I occasionally link products themselves if I'm reviewing a product, which I haven't actually done for quite a while now, but perhaps I should. So unless I'm actually reviewing a product, I'm not really paying much attention to Amazon associates. It's nice when you get paid little bits, but it's not a massive income. So it's there and it's passive income now once you've put them links up. And actually, as far as passive income goes, that is pretty much passive because you're just copying a link and putting it in that description. So once that's all set up and you've got that account, it really is passive. So it's just worth them couple of minutes popping it in your descriptions below your YouTube videos. So if you're on YouTube, that's where you need to use Amazon associates. And there are other associate programs as well, but it's not a big earner. It may be for some people, but it isn't for me. And sticking with Amazon for the time being, another income I've now got that I didn't have probably when I did one of these videos a while back, which is very new to me, is KDP. So Kindle publishing with my books. So I've got 2 books, and I have done videos about these before, so I've got 2 books now on Amazon KDP. I also have them on my own website and sell them from there as well. I will link my books down below. And they're doing okay. They're doing, nicely. It's very difficult, obviously, because there are hundreds and thousands, millions of books on Amazon for everybody to filter through, and so it's not very easy to get them seen. But if you keep promoting them on social media, etc., you probably do okay. So I watch a lot of these videos. Well, I don't watch a lot of these videos actually. I've seen a lot of these videos where they talk about books that don't have any content at all. They're just making books that are journals and things like that. That is not for me. If you're going to use Amazon KDP, I think it should be for writers and authors if you're actually going to put some decent content in there and spend that time. So again, that's not passive. It took me a year to put that book together, and that's on there now, and it's on there forever now, isn't it? Because providing, again, like the YouTube and Google thing, providing Amazon doesn't change how they how they operate, they don't kick you off or anything like that, I've got those books there for the time being, and they'll continue to sell a few at a time. And that is something that I am going to continue with. I've just started work on my 3rd book. This one might take me a little bit more time. I can see that probably not coming out for 18 months to 2 years time. It's quite involved. So yeah, I've got an idea for that, and I might talk about that in a separate video where we're perhaps talking about poetry and things. So I will do a video on that, on what my ideas are for that 3rd book, but I'm going to be working on that soon. So apart from the things associated with mostly around my YouTube channel and the Amazon things, other online income includes my sales on my website, my sales on Artfinder, and my sales on Etsy. My own website has gone up, and I think that's because I've had it for so many years. Google sees things once they're established as being trustworthy, robots or bots, what you want to call them, see that that's been there for all that time, see that you're perhaps an established brand. And I think my website's getting seen more on Google, and my sales have gone up on my website. Some of that might be because I've got quite a few return customers. I've got customers who've seen me at craft fairs, etc., that come to my website now rather than looking for my work on Artfinder. Artfinder is quite a bit down on last year. I think probably that's just more to do with the economy than anything else. On my own website, I tend to sell a lot of prints, which I don't have many prints on Artfinder, so there could be something in that. Etsy, again, it's lower value items. I only set Etsy up earlier in the year, so I've not had it long. I'm tending to sell a lot of greetings cards and that kind of thing on there. So, of course, none of that's passive. That all takes a lot of work. I wasn't going to talk about what I'm doing offline and where my revenue comes from there, but because I'm talking about what my plans are for 2023, I've got an exhibition coming up next summer, so I'm going to be working towards that. So if you don't see any work on Instagram and what have you, it's because all the work I'm doing now is sort of going towards that exhibition next summer. So that's what I'm going to be doing offline mostly. So to recap, what's working for me now, and that's, I'm putting aside the actual sales of my original paintings because, that's obviously the main part of where my earnings come from. Putting that aside, with my online things, my biggest income is coming from Amazon merch and from YouTube. So in 2023, that's where I'll be putting all my efforts. If you're not monetized yet on YouTube, do have a go at it. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoy it and if you enjoy creating, then have a go. You've nothing to lose apart from a little bit of time. It does take time. If you've got your internet connection there, you've got all your equipment, you don't have to have any fancy equipment, have a go at YouTube because it's there forever in a way. Well, I'm hoping it's there forever, but it grows, it balloons. So making more money when you've put less videos up in 7 years' time, it's actually very nice. So yeah, I will continue with YouTube, I will continue with merch. Actually at the moment merch is my top priority because it's making money at the moment. And this is my problem, I tend to flit about depending on what's working and depending what takes my interest. I get bored very easily, which is why I go from one thing to another. But that's not a bad thing because it means you haven't got all your eggs in one basket. So you'll find if one thing isn't working quite so well at the moment, something else will be. So if you're not selling any paintings because of the economy, it doesn't actually matter too much because you've got a regular income coming in from YouTube, and vice versa. Okay, so I hope that's been useful to those of you that are already monetized on YouTube, to those of you that are already using Amazon merch, etc. Any questions at all, do put those down below in the comments because I always do get back to you as soon as I can. And also let me know what works for you. Maybe you do better on Redbubble than I do, or whatever. Let me know what works for you as well because that's interesting for other people to read in the comments. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope I haven't missed anything out. If I have, I will put that down in the comments too. Bye bye for now.